Good morning, folks. Hope you're all doing fantastically well. Today's video is on the sensational, fabulous football platform Soccerverse, and in particular, I want to discuss the 72-hour unlocking rule. I want to give my suggestions on how to improve it, and for anyone joining new to Soccerverse thinking what's he on about, basically, on screen, as you can see here, Dunstan, I'm a majority influencer in that club. There's no one managing the club at this moment in time. So if you came in and wanted to manage Dunstan, you would just hit take over there and you would immediately become the manager. However, if you wanted to make transfers, you cannot do that until you become an unlocked manager. So, for example, you would probably contact me because I'm the major influencer in the club via the chat here and say, look, I've just taken over manager of Dunstan. Can you unlock me? Now, once I've said yes, that process will take 72 hours. So you will not able to sign players, which in my opinion is the most exciting part of a football managing game. So my fear is boredom would set in and certain users wouldn't be prepared to wait and they'd walk away from the game. Now, obviously, I want to stop that from happening because I'm invested into the project, and the more people get invested, the better off we're all going to be financially. That's the hope. So, like I said, I've got proposals I would like to make, and that's what this video is for, on how this can be improved overnight. And in my opinion, it would just cut out all the nonsense. Now, the flip side to the argument is people have come in, managers, and they've gone into clubs and ruined the clubs financially by overspending. And as an influencer myself, I get that argument. For example, I don't want some guy coming in or girl coming in managing Dunstan and spending 5 million on players and becoming making the club unsustainable because I'm going to lose out with my investment. And I don't think that's fair because people can come in with no investment whatsoever to become a manager and they can ruin clubs. So that can't be right either. So I get that side of the argument too. So what I am proposing and what happens in real life is managers don't have the final say on transfers. They will put their targets to either the director of football, the chairman, and say, I want this player. Ultimately, the money men of the club, which are the shareholders, will basically say, yes, we can sign that player, or no chance, we can't afford him. In no world would a manager have the final say, yeah, we're going to head with the signing, because they just do not understand the finances of the club, etc. Now, I've said from day one, Soccerverse is the most realistic football platform I've ever experienced. However, the way Soccerverse is set up, a manager can come in and just start spending willy-nilly without having to check with anyone. And in my opinion, that's not realistic. And like I said, it would never happen in real life. So what I am proposing is to scrap the 72-hour lock-in rule or unlock-in rule. And in my opinion, the major influencer of the club, so if there's no influence was whatsoever in the club, then the manager goes straight in and he can just do whatever he wants with the club. However, if there's influencers with over 500 in that club, and for example, if there's only one, they would be obviously the majority shareholder. No transfer should go ahead without that influencer agreeing to that transfer. That would protect people who've invested their hard earned money into influencing clubs from managers just coming in and ruining their club, basically. I genuinely believe it is a better way because it cuts out the boredom from new users waiting 3 days before they can actually make transfers. It also prevents people like me who've got a lot of influences in majority of clubs. I've left Taunton to manage Leeds and now I've got to wait 72 hours before I can make signings, and that is ludicrous in my opinion. And if anyone disagrees, just comment below what advantage is there preventing me taking over a club that I've got major influence in, or I'm the majority influencer in Leeds United. What advantage is there of me having to wait 72 hours? No one can answer me on Discord that answer or that question. So for me, this is why I'm so for what I'm saying. And it just makes no sense to me whatsoever making me wait 72 hours. I've debated with people on Discord. I respect everyone's opinions. We've all got a right to express an opinion. I'm not saying I'm 100% right on everything, but I genuinely believe this is the only fair way of getting around certain points that I've raised. My big concern, like I've said, is if you're expecting new users to join who want just to be the manager and they're going to have to wait 72 hours to make transfers, I just don't see certain people hanging about for that amount of time, twiddling their thumbs. Ultimately, we want Soccerverse to be as attractive as possible to every new user who comes and looks at the site and thinks, yeah, we want to get stuck in. And most people want to get stuck in straight away. This is preventing them doing that. The other plus, in my opinion, it stops people who've invested money into influence, appointing managers, and that manager coming in and then just spending like a lunatic, bankrupting the club or really affecting the club in a negative way financially. It prevents all that because, as the major influencer, you are signing off every transfer that the manager wants to make, which, like I've said on numerous occasions, that's how it works in real life. Someone has put on Discord that I want the rules changed because it's affecting me now. That's nonsense. I've always thought that. It is affecting me right now, and I am frustrated with it because, like I said, it makes no sense me waiting 72 hours to become an unlocked manager when I'm the top influencer in the club anyway. No one can prevent me becoming manager of this club unless people buy more shares than I've already got. Then that's a different story. But as we currently stand, no one can prevent me becoming manager now. So why am I having to wait 72 hours? It's ludicrous. So that is my proposal, guys. If Soccerverse is true to their word and they want it to be as realistic as possible, then this has to change. Because, like I said previously, there is not a world that we live in where the manager would have the final say on transfers and just blowing the club's budget on players that he wanted. Life just simply doesn't work like that, and football certainly doesn't. The money men of the club control almost everything within the club, and they would have the final say. And that should be the case on Soccerverse. I rest my case. Anyone who disagrees or agrees, put in the comments below. Like I said, I respect everyone's opinions. I'm not trying to argue with anyone. I'm just trying to make it more appealing to new users and more appealing to people like me who've invested money into clubs. I should be allowed to take over, in my opinion, a club that I'm the major influencer in. So, anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. Best of luck.